Hey guys, back with another video. Something I've been thinking a lot about, and I've been trying to crack the code on why only certain people become committed and make change. And this number just doesn't seem to change. And so I was thinking about my own story, and I waited. It was a traumatic experience that changed my life. And I'm just on a mission to try to get as many people as I can to change their lives before the traumatic experience happens. Before you get the diagnosis from the doctor that you're terminal, or before you go bankrupt, or something traumatic happens in your life. I believe everything's linked together. I think you can prevent all of that from happening if you just gather this information I am telling you and believe it. Your thoughts will change. Your feelings will change. Everything will change. You're on a whole different trajectory through life, right? So it got me thinking a lot about being interested in something and being committed in something. Like me, for instance, I'm interested in having a six-pack, but I don't have a six-pack. I'm not committed, right? I stay in good shape, but I'm just not committed enough to put that much energy into having a six-pack for me personally, right? And that's probably the easiest analogy I can find to use. I'm interested in it. I think about it every now and again. It would be nice, but I'm not committed, at least not yet, to making that a fact. And so the same thing applies to all of this information. If you're interested in it and you're just going through the day, reading and journaling, and you're just interested in it, but you haven't made that committed decision that no matter what, I'm committed to this until the end of my life. It doesn't matter. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how many books I have to read. I don't care how many journals I have to fill out. I don't care how many new friends I have to find. Like, nothing matters when you're committed, right? You're committed to do whatever it takes. And once you become committed, things start to happen. I feel like the universe just understands you've given the command, right? Every feeling we have goes down into our subconscious. It's impressed. And it immediately starts to be expressed in the without, in the physical, and around you. Somehow, some way, this thing is going to come back to you naturally, like it was just normal. And it's these two feelings that we really have to pay attention to. Okay, if you're not to the point where you can't just not get emotional with past things that have happened, then you need to make it a committed decision. Every time that happens, you're going to make a stronger feeling to cancel out this feeling on something that you do want. The Egyptians used to think they knew a lot, but one of the things I think that they struggled with is they thought that the subconscious was a servant. You just gave it commands, and it was lower than everything else, and it just had to bring to you the commands that you demanded. I think, through my study, that the subconscious is more like, it responds better to persuasion, right? Creating an amazing story in your mind of something that you want to create, and having feeling in it and falling in love with it. I feel like the subconscious loves that kind of action a lot more than just demanding of it to do something for you. Because all it takes is a feeling. You have a thought attached with the feeling, it's going in. It's going to be, and the only thing that can happen from that action is a reaction. Whatever that thought was attached with feeling that gets impressed has to be expressed. This is why people with negative thoughts keep having negative things. People with positive thoughts keep having positive things, right? The subconscious doesn't know good from bad, right or wrong. It is almost like a servant where it brings to you everything you want, it believes that's what you want, because that's what you're thinking about the most and giving the most feeling to. Once you understand this and become committed, not just interested. You can't just be interested in this. Nothing will change. I have people all the time, friends and family that I've tried to help. I've given them everything, right? But they're not committed. They're interested, but you got to be committed for this to work, right? You have to fixate in your mind one thing and try to use your will to stay focused on that thing with feeling. You can't be giving the same amount of energy to 15 different ideas, right? Because there's no consistent energy into one direction. You're going from, yeah, I want to be a millionaire, to I'm worried about this thing, to I need a new job, to, right? You're all over the place, right? At some point you have to make a committed decision. Is the stuff I'm telling you true? Do you believe it? And if you do believe it, then you need to make a committed decision. Okay, I believe this is the truth. I'm going to take 90 days and stay committed. Because a simple habit, it takes 66 days for it to go from conscious to authenticity, which means it becomes automatic. Because the brain wants to, the brain wants to not give so much energy to this thing, right? So it just makes it an automatic habit. It goes from conscious, having to do it every day, thinking about it, to autopilot, automatic, right? This is what my whole channel's been about. So we do 90 days so that you don't have to play the guessing game of, has it been long enough yet? Right? You do the 90 days, you don't have to worry about it. If it was 66, 67, 68, you're to 90, it's done, right? Some habits take 256 days. That's the longest habit I've ever had to deal with, right? But that's 4 decades of something that I was trying to change, that I've been doing for 4 decades, right? That's an aggressive habit, right? Long period of time habit. So the typical habit is about 66 days. Some are a week, some are 2 weeks. But the best I can find is 66 days, so we do 90 days. So we make a committed decision. For 90 days, I am going to work on this one thing, right? If it's drink more water, you make a committed decision, I'm going to drink 1 more glass of water a day. Because you're already going to drink what you normally drink, because that's your habit. So you only have to consciously be aware of drinking 1 extra glass. Does that make sense? Right, then pretty soon that becomes a habit. Now you're drinking whatever you were drinking plus an extra glass, or 2 glasses, or however many you need to get to 32 ounces, or whatever that is for you, right? Same with eating. You want to lose weight? Don't try and cut everything out. Make a 90-day committed decision. You're going to add just vegetables to your diet. Start eating vegetables. 5 servings a day for 90 days. Next 90 days, add 1 more thing, more protein, more whatever. And then you just push the bad out, right? You don't want to make these ginormous, trying to change too many things at one time. You want to stay committed to the one thing you're trying to change, right? But being interested isn't going to cut it, right? Being interested is what unsuccessful people do, right? They want to do pleasing actions. Successful people they want pleasing results. They don't care what the action is, because they want the result. Unsuccessful people want the same result, but they're only willing to do the pleasing actions. So I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye.